Hey guys, welcome back to yet another part of my favorites cozy mini series that I have been doing. If you are not familiar, I have essentially been doing videos that are roundups all about cozy favorites, from series to individual books, and today's video, which are favorite cozy mystery covers. Now, like I have mentioned in my other videos, I feel like that is especially true today, which is that this is by no means a comprehensive list of cozy mystery favorite covers. I whittled it down to top 5 because it's a nice number and that's what I've been doing for the other favorites, but this is hard. So if you know of cozy mystery covers that are your absolute favorites, definitely drop them in the comments below so we can ooh and ah over them. But when I tell you that these are my top 5 favorites, they're not really top 5, but more so just 5 out of a list of many that are my favorites. So today's video I'm going to be doing a little bit differently, in which I obviously share my 5, but I'm also sharing a handful of yours. I put out a story in which I asked you all for your favorite cozy covers that come to mind, and I wanted to share those with you all as well, just so that we would have some more visuals to go off of, because one of the favorite things about cozies, in addition to their punny titles, are the covers, and the more the merrier, right? So I'm keeping my list of 5, but for you all, I've got more than just 5. So without further ado, let's dive into the covers. Okay, so this list, because obviously it's not top 5 forever, it's also not top 5 in which this list is in any kind of order. I just kind of wanted to ramble on, starting with the first book that I have written down, and that is Blown Away, which is the, I believe, first book in the Kite Shop series. Now, when I was compiling this list, I wanted to do a mix of covers as to why I like them, and by a mix, I mean a mix of styles, because, you know, just like any other genre, there are themes and, you know, more popular kind of artists at the time, and so cozies have been around for a while, and I wanted my list to kind of reflect that. So they're not all like super new releases. Some of these are older, but the art style still looks gorgeous. So this one with Blown Away, I love it. It gives me such... it's almost like, okay, quick story time. If one time I was in Savannah with my now husband and we were looking at antique shops, and I stumbled across the framed painting section, and I came across this painting of a boat that was docked kind of along the beach, and he bought it for me. The colors were so soft and pastel and just beautiful, and that's exactly what this cover reminds me of. It's very soft. I love the color palette. It doesn't, in my opinion, look like the cozy mysteries that are out today, but it's still charming nonetheless, and so I definitely wanted to include it on here. Full disclosure, I haven't read this cozy yet, but it's been on my TBR, and I think one of the main reasons is because the cover is so beautiful. Oh, I mean, also the fact that it takes place at a kite shop, which I feel is so cute and summery. But yeah, there you have it. Okay, so this next one, Color Me Murder. I actually feel like I have to say almost... I'm going to be cheating a little bit, in that when I am listing these individual books, technically, since all of the covers in the series are similar, the way I feel about them could go for the rest of the series. So even though I'm talking about Color Me Murder, all of the books in the series I love because they all look similar or all have the same cover style. And this one stands out to me. I vividly remember when this book came out, or right before this book came out, I was so hooked by the fact that it looked like a coloring book. You know, obviously that speaks to the amateur sleuth and the theme of this particular cozy, but it's such a creative cover, you know, and it's one of those books where I feel, yes, you can read it using your e-reader or audiobook, but holding it physically in this case, I feel really makes a difference, because you can color it if you would like. It looks like a coloring page, and I think that's so charming and fun and takes me back to childhood. Anytime I see coloring pages, that's what I think of. And I love that they are using this for a cozy mystery. Okay, so this pen for hire is my next pick. It's the first book in the Jane Austen mystery series. Now, admittedly, there have been renditions or updated versions of the cover, but I wanted to spotlight a very specific cover style because it also kind of takes me back to, I don't want to say old school, but to cozy mysteries from a few years back. It's a very specific art style. And to be honest, it also reminds me of like the rom-coms that I used to read back then as well, with kind of the animated art style. I don't even know how you would describe it, but it's a very specific look. Now, illustrated covers have certainly made their way back into romance today, but it's not the same. It looks more of a digital drawing, whereas this looks more like, again, a whimsical comic style. We're not going to count this as part of my submissions, but I do want to draw a parallel between this Jane Austen book that is on the list and the Witchcraft mystery series by Heather Blake. To me, those two look the same, and I love them both because of that art style of kind of like the early 2000s. So yeah, I love it. This cozy reminds me of a romance, even though it's not, and since I love romance, admittedly, that's probably why I like this cover. Next, we have Through a Glass Deadly, which is one of the books in the Webb's Glass Shop series. One of the things that I love about cozy covers, or my favorite kind of cozy covers, are ones that are a scene, to where you kind of get a snapshot that depicts what the cozy is about. So for example, this one obviously is kind of if you were looking through the window of this glass shop. Another example, if you have like a baking cozy, it might be a cover that has a scene that is set in the bakery to where you can kind of see all of the details. This is why I love this particular cover, because not only do you get that scene that really gives you a good idea as to what the theme or what the cozy is about, but I like that this particular scene is of a glass shop. I think that already that's a unique cozy mystery concept, and so because it's unique, seeing that visual also is unique. It's such a funky way to do things because you've got this almost like crystal ball and the reflection painted in that. And again, yes, you could say the same for the rest of the series in the book, which I love those too because they're all the same style. But this first book in particular, I just think it's so badass and unique and very intricate if you actually pay attention to all of the details. And I absolutely love it. I mean, what else is there to say? Last up, we are piggybacking off of the concept of covers with kind of the theme, but we've got Devonshire Scream, which is part of the Tea-Shop Mystery series by Laura Child. And each of the books in this series are a scene as well, which is again a very traditional cozy cover style that I absolutely adore. And because I love tea so much, I think that this series does an amazing job of depicting that on the cover. This book in particular, and it makes me want to put on fancy gloves and go to tea or whip up some clotted cream immediately because this cover has everything you need as a tea lover. It's just so elegant. It's set in the South, I believe in, I want to say Savannah, but it exudes that setting, you know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because there's just so many elements in play here, from the china to the curtains to the place setting. And I know sometimes cozies have like little skulls hidden throughout them, and this is just such a good classic cozy cover that I had to include it on the list. So those are my top 5. Again, losing top 5 very loosely, but those are the 5 that I'm wanting to share with you all right now. Let me know what you think of those and if you have your own, but let's switch over to the ones that you guys mentioned because I got a kick out of these as well. And it actually kind of makes it easier because I agree with some of these, but I didn't have to put them on my list. Okay, so First up, we have A Familiar Tale, which I read this book. I think it's super cute. Cat cozies have some of the best covers for a variety of reasons. Now, I have not read a lot of cat cozies. This is one of the few that I think I have. I actually have a video all about it, but I do know that I'm always pulled in because of the covers, and this one is no exception. I think there's a lot of layers going on just in terms, again, of the scene. That's my favorite kind of cover, and this one definitely proves me right with that. Okay, so the next one that I have on here, they just said the Abby Collette series, anything by her. I know she's got a couple of series out. One said The Ice Cream Parlor, another one Soul Food. So really take your pick. I know Game of Cones is one of the newer ones out as part of her ice cream series, and those are fun as well. Those are a little bit more digital or graphic, I guess you can say, very of the now, but they're just as fun. One of the things that book in particular does so well is the color palette. I love, it's not quite a pastel, it's obviously not like a bright and vibrant, but it's like just that happy medium of like the neutral tones in each of those, from like the sprinkles and the background and everything. And again, you can see the graphic design of the drawings with this one, and I think it's fun. Totally agree with that one. Okay, so next one we have is Paper Cuts, which is the newest book in Ellery Adams' Secret Book and Scone Society series. And yeah, I gotta admit, this was a good one. Admittedly, though, it doesn't scream cozy to me, but it's still a good cover nonetheless. I love the vibrancy of it. It's obviously got a lot of red elements in it, but it's not too harsh. And it's just very whimsical in the sense to where it makes me think back to my childhood arts and crafts, you know, cutting out the shapes of the hearts or the people holding hands, where you cut once after folding the paper and then you let it loose and it's multiple. And it's very good. It's very good, especially because one of the things that's so unique about it is the fact that it doesn't scream cozy. So automatically you can kind of pull in audiences who may not read a lot of cozies just because of the cover style, and really open their mind up to what cozies are all about, you know? Next we have, okay, so the submission was actually the Magical Garden series in general, which 1000% agree, but in terms of the one that I'm gonna pull up, it's Marigolds for Malice, which, oh my gosh, these covers are stunning, and I am so glad that they put this on their list so I didn't have to take a room on my list, because they're beautiful. I actually, coincidentally, I was talking with somebody else in my DMs who mentioned this series that they were reading and how they love the cover so much, and yes, I totally agree, and somebody else mentioned it. Here we are a week later, and yeah, this is some good stuff. Like, screenshot this. It could be your iPhone screensaver kind of good. I love florals in general, and so to have each of the covers have this, it's just so good. Like, you can, it's a bouquet on paper. It's just so pretty, you guys. I don't even know how else to describe it other than it's just so pretty. So 100% agree. Next we have Grounds for Murder, which another one I agree with. It's a scene. This one is set at a coffee shop in Florida, and you get all kinds of like Floridian vibes. I don't even know how else to describe it. Very Key West. It definitely makes you want to pick up an iced beverage. I can totally attest to that. And again, the colors that they use is very Florida. And I don't even know how to describe it beyond that if you've ever been to Florida, because again, you're not seeing pastels there, but you are definitely getting that rich Key West. Who is that guy? Oh my gosh, Tommy Bahama. That's not who I mean, but again, just very like ocean seaside. You gotta rock your button down that's got flowers all over it and kick your feet up. Jimmy Buffett, there it is. Sorry guys, that's definitely what I meant. Getting Jimmy Buffett vibes with this one, and I'm here for it, honestly. Okay, so another submission is an entire series, which is all of the Bake Shop Mystery series, but the one that came to mind was Cup of Holiday Fear, which 100% agree. So fun fact, Cup of Holiday Fear was actually the first book in the Bake Shop Mystery series that I ever read. Totally out of order, because I believe it's like book 6 or 7, but the cover pulled me in. Very good. You got another scene. This one's set at a bakery, but it's got a Christmas twist to it. You've got the skull, you've got the treats, treats, the bakery, it all comes together. And admittedly, yes, each of the books in the Bake Shop Mystery series, their covers are like aces. Like, I love them so much. And last up, Dark Chocolate Demise. This one definitely catches your attention because of the chocolate and the bakery setting. You know, anything, honestly, that's a cozy that's set at a bake shop, I feel like the covers are automatically going to pull you in because they have to portray those treats on there. And I'm a sucker for this one. I added it to my TBR when they shared me this particular cover because it looks so good. And now I want a cupcake. Anyway, guys, those are your roundups, my top 5 of favorite cozy mystery covers. Again, let me know what you think of this list. Add yours to the comments below so we can share and drool and ooh and all together. And be sure to check out the rest in this kind of cozy favorite series that I've got going on. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to y'all later. Happy reading. Bye!